Hello, hello, hello. So I shared a little secret earlier. Hold on, this is distracting over here. I shared a little secret earlier that as a person with a background as an English professor and someone who is a writing coach, an embodied writing coach, is a little bit, yeah, I said it. So there's something that I have a response to about the G word, grammar. If you saw my post in my story earlier, I shared the secret, which is that I hate grammar. And I wanted to come and do a live because this is what I mean when I say I hate grammar. I hate the way grammar has been weaponized in education, in society, to really make us feel good or not good about the language that we use. So I'm going to share a few things about why I've come to this conclusion of I hate grammar, and I'm going to tell you that I really don't hate it. It's actually amazing and something we get to use and play with. I love to help people play with their grammatical structure and the way that they use language. But first we got to debunk some myths. So first, we need to know what grammar is. So first of all, grammar is not spelling. Grammar is not punctuation. Grammar is not capitalization. Grammar is how we put our words together, the order of operations that we put them together so that other humans can understand what we're saying. It's very difficult to not be grammatical. So what I'm going to try to do is like make up some. So if I said like, if it's not helpful grammatical to be, that's difficult to understand, and it's difficult for me to even create. If you are a native speaker of the language that, whatever your native language is, you automatically, our brains, Noam Chomsky teaches us that our brains are pre-programmed for language. So whatever language you are immersed in from birth, that is the language that you're going to adopt. If you have multiple languages in your home that you are born into, you're going to definitely probably develop multiple languages. So for me, I am a native English speaker, and so because I've been speaking that language, I have the inherent grammatical structures down. It's what I was born in. So when we say grammar, right, and people say, oh, I'm bad at grammar when I get to talking to them, or everybody has stories. Let me know in the comments what they are. Everybody has stories about a time where you were made to feel not so great about your language, and most likely it was labeled as bad grammar, and that was most likely wrong. Because when people are like, oh, I don't know how to use a comma, that's punctuation. That's totally different. So I've talked about what grammar is and what grammar is not, and why you automatically, when you are born into your language and start developing language, you have the grammatical structures. Now, there can be things that influence that and shift that. So Patrick Hartwell wrote this article in the 80s called Grammar, and Grammars, and the Teaching of Grammar, or something like that. It was a fun title. And he talked about there's kind of 3 different types of grammar that we often refer to. And the other 2 are labeling things. Like, how many of you know how to dissect a sentence, label what's a noun, verb, adjective, adverb, participle phrase, coordinating conjunction, all those kinds of things? A lot of us do not know how to do that. Do you need to know that in order to be able to speak and write well so that others can understand you and express yourself? Absolutely not. Is that often how we get taught that we are good or not at grammar? Absolutely. Again, this goes back to education. The other part, another definition that shows up in grammar, is really about what is socially acceptable and considered standard. Now, here's where I'm going to spend a little time. So if you've ever heard the phrase standard English or American Standard English, what that is a reference to what we have, and I'm going to tell you who we is in just a minute, what has been decided upon as good in language. Now, here's the problem. If I say, what's standard English to you? feel free to drop it in the comments. You might come up with certain ideas and constructs and definitions and examples. And if you ask it to me, I'm going to come up with different examples and constructs. And if I ask another person, they're going to come up with different examples and all of that. So how can it be standard if each person has their own perspective on it? That's the one issue. It's socially constructed. So there is no one definitive, this is standard English. And here's why. We have dialect, we have variety. I'm from the South, so I have Southern dialect and phrases and things that I say that someone who is up north would not say, right? So, or from California, or from Hawaii, or, that someone else would not say. We have varieties within our language, and they're beautiful and amazing. And when someone says, he be missing the bus, they know exactly what they're talking about. It doesn't mean that they are grammatically incorrect. And that's a common phrase that's sometimes heard in Southern English dialect and also in Black vernacular English dialect. And it means exactly what it means. It's not something that happened one time. It's something that happens over and over and has happened in the past and will likely happen in the future. There's a reason for it. So, I actually really enjoy language, and I love talking about language, and I love supporting other people in expressing their language in amazing books. But I hate the way grammar gets used as this weapon. And my greatest fear is that someone does not express themselves, does not share their heart-centered message from their business or their life or their experience because they have this inherent fear taught in them that their language is not good enough. Good enough according to whom? Because that standard American English, that standard American English construct is nothing to do with your ability to express yourself. It's a socially constructed thing. It typically leans towards a white middle class way of using language, and it's just not able to capture all the different ways that we are able to express ourselves. So friends, if grammar is holding you back from expressing yourself, from starting to write that book, starting to share those amazing things that you share with your clients and your business over and over and getting that out in an amazing aligned book in an amazing embodied way, then I am here to take that little boulder off your shoulders and let you know that grammar is your friend, that you are an amazing grammatical phenomenon. Your language is perfect and amazing just as it is. And I love supporting people like you in moving the needle, starting that book, starting to really write your life in really cool and amazing ways. Thank you for checking this out today. Share this as you see fit. I have started a little thread called Writerly Breadcrumbs, so be sure you follow that. I've got it going over on YouTube as well, so you can like and subscribe there. If you want to receive messages like these in your email, then just shoot me a DM and I'll be sure to add you to the Writerly Breadcrumbs community so you don't miss a thing. Have an amazing day. Talk to you soon.